Research group Source Global predicts that Saudi Arabia's consulting market will grow by approximately 13% this year compared to 14% in 2024. Preliminary data from Source Global indicates that the consulting market in the Gulf region reached $7 billion in 2024, with Saudi Arabia holding the largest share. U.S. President Donald Trump has signed a temporary spending bill after it was approved by Congress earlier this week. The bill passed in a Senate with a 54-46 vote as 10 Democrats joined Republicans in supporting the measure despite internal opposition. This legislation aims to fund federal agencies until the end of the current fiscal year in September 30th, 2025, giving lawmakers more time to negotiate a long-term budget.
They're in a very strong position militarily with quite a few.
Greece's outgoing finance minister announced that the country's central government primary surplus reached 3.5% of GDP last year, significantly surpassing the government's target. On Friday, the Prime Minister, Kyriakos Mitsotakis, appointed new ministers for finance and transport in a cabinet reshuffle aimed at bolstering support for its government following mass protests over a 2023 train crash. Peru's economy grew by 4.07% in January 2025, aligning with analysts' expectations, but slightly below the 4.85% growth recorded in December 2024. This growth was driven by the expansion of most sectors except for the financial sector, which declined, reflecting ongoing challenges in the monetary and investment environment. The announcement comes a day after Adrian Armas, the chief economist of Peru's central bank, predicted a growth rate of around 4% for January, slightly below the actual figure. Reuters, citing a draft statement from the G7 foreign ministers meeting in Quebec, has reported that the G7 might tighten sanctions on Russia if it rejects a proposed 30-day ceasefire in Ukraine. Ministers discussed increasing pressure on Moscow, including new sanctions and an oil price cap. The G7 urged Russia to reciprocate and emphasize the need for effective security arrangements and additional aid for Ukraine.
So I think that here as G7...
Alan Zenter, chief economic strategist at Morgan Stanley, anticipates a slowdown in real GDP growth at around 1% to 1.5% this year. Zenter cites regulatory and policy uncertainties, including restrictive immigration policies and tariffs, as contributing factors. She further suggests the Federal Reserve may implement multiple interest rate cuts starting as early as May.